A Pentagon spokesperson says despite cuts to the missile defense program, Defense Secretary Robert Gates is confident the U.S. has the resources to deal with the growing nuclear threats from North Korea. Geoff Morrell told reporters Tuesday the Secretary made his recommendations to reduce the missile defense program's budget by $1.2 billion based upon military advice he received on North Korea's capabilities.
His recommendations are for fiscal year 10. It says nothing about what our posture will be in FY11 or beyond, so that if the North were to proceed and develop its long-range capacity, ballistic missile capacity, at a pace faster than anybody in this building believes they will or are capable of, we can certainly adjust our budget requests.
Mr. Morrell says most of the money that would be cut would be for experimental projects at the boost phase. Well, North Korea and Iran pose serious nuclear and missile proliferation threats to the United States. That assessment came Tuesday during testimony from the Deputy Secretary of Defense, William Lynn, at a hearing on ballistic missile defense programs and what's being done to defend the United States.
One such technology that Senator McCain mentioned we think holds promise as the threat develops is early intercept. This program targets a missile before apogee in order to successfully destroy the missile and allow additional intercept opportunities. This may reduce the number of interceptors ultimately used in the overall defense.
Also testifying was Lieutenant General Patrick O'Reilly, Director of the Missile Defense Agency. He says the proposed cut down in the FY 2010 budget to 30 silos would still be enough to take care of current threats. The top U.S. commander in Iraq says it has become very difficult for foreign fighters to move internally toward the country. General Raymond Odierno spoke at a news conference in Baghdad on Monday. General Odierno credited Iraqi, U.S. and coalition troops for the decrease in foreign fighters entering Iraq.
Al-Qaeda has been degraded significantly. They're still able to conduct some attacks, but we believe that it's becoming more and more difficult for them, and actually financially it's becoming more and more difficult for them. And so we continue to focus on these very specific areas.
Under the terms of the Iraqi-U.S. Security Pact, American troops must withdraw from Iraqi cities by June 30th, with all U.S. forces out of the country by the end of 2011. Although much of the focus is now on military operations in southern Afghanistan, U.S. troops continue to battle it out with Taliban militants along the country's eastern border with Pakistan. Kunar province is home to combat outpost Blessing and members of the 1st Battalion, 26th Infantry Regiment. Blessing is a base for artillery used to provide cover for troops patrolling the rugged mountains that surround it.
The main role of the artillery here, our platoon specifically, is providing fire support in the Cmdr area of operations, specifically here in the Kunar province. And they call for fire for us, and when our infantry guys are taking serious fire, we provide them 155 millimeter fire support.
Kunar province is known as one of the most rugged areas of Afghanistan, with more than 150 miles bordering Pakistan. Well, a Navy SEAL will launch into space Wednesday. Commander Cassidy is a member of the Space Shuttle Endeavour crew. The mission specialist will work on upgrading the International Space Station. Cassidy, who graduated from the Naval Academy, says he's focused and excited about the opportunity. Coming up next on Around the Services, it used to be a hotspot for violence, but now a decrease in activity has leaders rethinking the troops count. But first, saving time and lives. U.S. Coast Guard team members meet with teams from abroad to share lessons on how to work together during critical times. Stick around. Sergeant Ted McDonald is back with more.